When he finished talking, I asked him, I said, I am aware that if I agree to this, it is going to be a hidden relationship, right? He said, yes. I said, fine. In this situation, what if I get pregnant? He said, is he a child? That he won't let me get pregnant. I said, it's not about being a child. Pregnancy can happen. So if you're saying you won't let me, it's the same thing that you have to use protection, whatever will happen, if at all anything will happen. He said, but how do I expect him to go and get protection? What will he tell people he wants to use it for? Imagine if him going outside. I said, if that is the case, I will buy it for you. I asked him for money. He gave me 10,000 naira cash that day. And then I went out. I went to everyday supermarkets and I bought him a pack of Durex. Yes.
Durex, that's
came back to the house. Yes, came back to the house, gave it to him. He was just looking at me and I left. So the next day, he was actually still asking. I have thought about the whole thing because honestly, it's not like I haven't been in a relationship, but someone like him, who he is, the threat, the fear. I was not aware if he had a dirty lifestyle I did not know before now. So I did not know what to be scared of. I didn't know, like, my head was full. So when people are asking, did he rape you? So it wasn't a rape. So when I thought about this whole thing, I said, okay. I told him, fine, if this is what you want, no problem. But on one condition, I don't ever want to get pregnant. He said he has heard me. I should stop preaching. That do I even see him like someone who will not be able to take care of his child if anybody get pregnant for him? I said, okay, thank God you're the one saying this. So the relationship started. It wasn't once, it wasn't twice. He kept demanding for sex.
So he had his way.
Yes, he had his way. And at each single time, he refuses to use the protection.
Are you serious?
And I made sure I always reminded him. I said, I ask you to use protection and you're always refusing. He said, I am in his house and I cannot call the shots. I can't tell him what to do in his house. So he called the shots and he decides what happened. And I kept telling him, don't get me pregnant and expect me to go for abortion, because I will not. Yeah. I told him this. He said I should stop preaching. I said, no problem. He kept having his way. I picked up my phone when I woke up that morning and then I put on my data and I was getting messages. So a particular message got my attention. This message came with his picture. And it was the picture, it was the same picture as his profile picture then on Facebook.
Who is that?
Apostle Chibuzor.
Okay.
So I was like, could Daddy send me a message in the night? Oh, let me see what it is. So I clicked on the message. At first, I thought maybe because I know so many people use these pictures for their profile picture. So when I clicked on it, it took me to his page. Then I came back to the message. And what was there was, see me later today, we need to talk. That was the content of the message.
Can you remember the dates the message was sent? Is it possible?
I can't remember the dates, but this was between March, April 2019.
Okay, was this sent to the same Facebook you're using now or what?
No. That my Facebook account was hacked a long time ago.
Okay.
Yes. So he now sent me that message. So when I saw that message, in my mind I was like, why did he have to send me a message when once it's morning I'll still get to see him and everything? But I didn't think about it that much and I did not reply to that message. So I just let it be. By morning when everybody had woken up, freshen up, and everyone gets to see. So normally when the children are done taking their breakfast, they are always with him. So sometimes they are with him in his room. So when I was done with what I was doing that morning, I also went to his room. I greeted him. He answered me. And I was like, Daddy, it's not, I didn't hide to say it to him. The children were there and I said it. Daddy, I saw your message. You said I should see you. I hope I did not do anything wrong. So he actually signaled for me to be quiet.
He did that?
Yes. And inside me, I wasn't a child. So I felt somehow about that. But I still did not want to think much because of who he is. And then he now asked the children, who wants to swim? Everybody were like, me, I want to swim. So he now said, okay, all of you can go and swim. So
there's a swimming pool in his house.
Yes, there's a swimming pool in his house. So I had to join the children and say, me too, I want to swim. Or I joined the children to leave. And he was like, everybody except Lovett.
That's you.
Yes. Sorry. Amen. Go, try to give you biscuits. Okay, she'll give it to you. Okay. So he was like, everybody except Lovett. And I stayed back. At some point, I felt scared. And then the children left. He asked me to sit. At this point, it was just me and him in his room. I felt somehow, and I asked him, Daddy, this one is only me and you. I hope nothing is wrong, or did I do anything wrong? He was like, no, don't be scared. So he asked me to sit, and I did. He asked me to switch off my phone. I was still feeling somehow because I wasn't understanding. Like, before that day, there has never been any sign whatsoever that I have never behaved in any bad way whatsoever to him in the house. So, to me, I felt somehow, but then I had to sit. And then he was just looking at me. I was like, Daddy, why are you looking at me? Is there a problem? Did I do anything wrong? He said no, that he wanted to talk to me. I said, okay. He now started talking. He was saying different things in parable, saying different things. I now said, because the way more he was talking, I was feeling scared. I was not scared, not like maybe I haven't heard those words before. I was scared because it was coming from him.
From words like what? Can you just example?
Okay. He said, the first thing he said was that he wants to talk to me, but that he wants to make an instance. That, let us say that I always eat banana. Whenever I am done eating, I always eat. They will give me banana to eat. So after a while, they stopped giving me this banana. So one day, after so many years, I now see this banana from somebody and I want to eat it. But I cannot buy this banana. But I really want this banana. That's, if I find myself in such a situation, that what will I do?
Who is saying this thing?
Yes. That has stopped that. Please. He said, if I find myself in such situation, what will I do?
Who is saying this?
Apostle Chibuzor.
Okay. And you were the only one there? It
was just me and him in the room.
In his private room?
Sorry?
His bedroom?
Yes, in his bedroom.
Okay.
In his bedroom. Come stay with Auntie Mary, okay? Okay. So, this was in his bedroom. And I was like, I told him, if I was in that situation, I've seen the banana I want to eat, but I cannot buy it. I'll simply ask the person that is with banana to give it to me. He now said, okay. That what if it will be very, very difficult for that person to give it to me, or the person might reject me, but I really want it. I said, I just have to beg first. Since I can't buy it, I just have to beg first. So he kept asking.
How old were you then?
I think I was 18 then.
18 years, okay.
Yes. So I kept asking. He kept asking questions based on it. So at some point, I was getting frustrated because I did not want to assume where he was going to. I now asked him, I said, Daddy, please, the question is too much. Tell me what it is. Like, is there something you want to say you're not able to say, or something? Just say it. Let me hear. He now said, okay, that he wants me to do something for him. This thing it to be very difficult for me to do it, but he knows that if I want to do it, I can do it. So at that point, he was not shifting somewhere else. I was like, Daddy, I've not seen you beg somebody for help before. So if you ever need help, I don't think anybody will reject you from giving you help, because you've always helped everybody. He now said, okay, now that's okay. Let him tell me what it is. What if he asks me to go into a relationship with him? That what will I say? At that point, my assumption, everything that was in my head came to the conclusion and everything. I was confused. I didn't know what to answer, not because of what he said, but because it was coming from him. I was already sweating. There was AC in the room, but I was sweating and I was scared at the same time. So I was like, I don't understand. But Daddy, you know, there is somebody I want to get married to, and you're aware. So why are you actually asking me to do something like this? Why will you ask me to do something like this? What will I tell him? He said you don't have to tell him. He doesn't have to know. You just keep it between us. I was like, Even if you're asking me to go into a relationship with you, what kind of relationship exactly? He said I should come on, I should stop talking like I'm a child. Why am I talking like I don't know what I said, no, I don't want to assume. You have to say what you want. So what kind of a relationship are you talking about? He said, okay, since I want him to say it, that he is actually looking for a sexual relationship. I said that you're a pastor. Yes.
By name?
He said that Apostle Chibuzor.
Okay, allegedly.
Yes.
Okay.
He said that after all, he's a man. He has flesh and blood running in his vein. In my head.
He was saying this to you?
Yes. In my head, I was trying to comprehend like where this whole idea or whatever it was coming from. So I told him, I said, what if I say no? What if I say no? I want to say no. I don't want to do it. He said, just know that you cannot say no. You know me already. I do not take no for an answer. In fact, he got angry at that moment and said, why do you even think you can say no? You can't say no. I cannot take no for an answer. Who do you even think you are to want to say no to me? People, you do know how many ladies that are at my beck and calls. But it's just because I can't go to outside to start doing nonsense. I cannot do this because of who I am. This one, a general overseer. I'm bringing myself down to ask you for something like this. And you're saying no. Who do you think you are? You cannot say no. I was like, wow. But I still want to know, what if I say no? What will come with it? He said, in that case, be ready to leave my house. And if you're leaving my house, don't think that I will let you go just like that. Because I know people will start asking you, because people know I like you very well and that you are my daughter. So if you leave my house without you committing any crime, people will start asking questions. And I know you will talk. So if you leave my house, don't think I will just let you go like that. To me, that was a threat. It was a threat to me.
Allegedly, if it's what he said, it's a threat, yes.
Yes. So I don't know if I should say I thought about this whole thing. I could not think about it. I just told him that, please, that I wanted to sleep. This thing was on a Saturday evening. I told him, please, I needed to sleep. I've heard you, and I will think about it.
I remember the month.
Sorry?
I remember the month and the year.
This was in 2019, between March and April.
Okay.
Yes. I left his room that day. He was calling me back, and I left his room. I went to my room where we do sleep with other children. I couldn't think. I don't know, like, I did not know what to do at that point, and I was confused.
No.
I tried my best to avoid him throughout that day. So the next day, we all went to church. I was in church, and he was on the altar preaching. I wasn't seeing him. Everything I was saying was the things he was saying into my head. They keep sounding, they keep coming back, but I was just on my own. I was just there. Nobody knew what I was going through. We came back to the house that Sunday. I tried my possible best to avoid him. And then on Monday, he sent for me.
Oh, no.
On Monday, he sent for me. That the children came, Daddy, Auntie Lovett, Daddy's calling you. What will I tell the children? If I tell them to go and tell him that I'm not coming, what will I be explaining to them? So I just stood up and I went to meet him. He was like, are you still thinking? I'm sure you've made up your mind about this whole thing, that he doesn't know what I'm thinking about. After all, it's not like I'm a virgin. After all, that if I just agree, whatever I wanted, he will give me. Is it house? What is it that he cannot give me? Money. I'm planning for my wedding. He was going to give me the best wedding in Port Harcourt. Was going to do this. He started saying so many things. I was just looking at him. When he finished talking, I asked him, I said, I am aware that if I agree to this, it is going to be a hidden relationship, right? He said, yes. I said, fine. In this situation, what if I get pregnant? He said, is he a child? That he won't let me get pregnant. I said, it's not about being a child. Pregnancy can happen. So if you're saying you won't let me, it's the same thing that you have to use protection. Whatever will happen, if at all anything will happen. He said, but how do I expect him to go and get protection? What will he tell people he wants to use it for? Imagine if him going outside. I said, if that is the case, I will buy it for you. I asked him for money. He gave me 10,000 naira cash that day. And then I went out. I went to everyday supermarkets and I bought him a pack of Durex. Yes.
Durex, that's funny.
Yes, came back to the house, gave it to him. He was just looking at me and I left. So the next day, he was actually still asking. I have thought about the whole thing because honestly, it's not like I haven't been in a relationship, but someone like him